Welcome to Florida Focus. I'm Diana Halloum.
And I'm Kaylee Cottrell. We're just minutes away from polls closing across Florida. People standing in line right now will still get the chance to cast their ballots after 7. This has been one of the most hostile and controversial elections in American history. We're in the midst of a worsening pandemic. The result of this historic election could literally be the difference between life or death for Americans who lost their jobs and can't afford health care. One of the most impactful amendments on this year's ballot could change millions of people's lives. Reporter Gabe Castro tells us increasing the minimum wage could directly affect a quarter of Florida's workforce.
Amendment 2 aims to increase Florida's minimum wage to $15 an hour by the year 2026.
If you look at who actually is earning minimum wage in Florida, it's not high school students, it's not college students. The vast majority of minimum wage workers are over the age of 25.
Before taxes, a full-time minimum wage worker makes $17,804.80 a year. The average rent cost alone in Florida is $13,536 a year.
After paying for rent, water, electricity, phone, internet, food, and taxes, many are lucky if there's anything left.
In 20 years, Florida's minimum wage has crept up only slightly to reach the $8.56 we have now. Adjusted for inflation, minimum wage workers currently make less than they made a decade ago, and well under the $12.39 that is considered to be Florida's living wage for a single childless adult. Reporting for Florida Focus, I'm Gabe Castro.
With two of the oldest presidential candidates ever, many argue not enough attention has been paid to young voters. Reporter Neve Larkin talks to Tampa students who cast their ballot for the first time.
In Florida, over 500,000 young people have already voted. That's hundreds of thousands more than in the previous election.
Many blame the results of the 2016 election on low young voter turnout. Morgan Perez just voted for the first time here in Florida.
The young vote is super important this year. I feel like not a lot of young voters came out to vote in the 2016 election because they really just didn't think their vote mattered.
Hannah Wyand also just voted for the first time.
Whoever is president, it affects all of our lives, it affects all of the citizens of the United States' lives. And so I think that, being an active member of society and voicing your opinion, your vote can help you in the long run.
While young voters are turning out in record numbers, their ballots are also being flagged 4 times as often as those 65 years and older. That's according to a new study out of UF that just found election officials have been removing thousands of ballots cast by people under the age of 24. The most common reason is missing or mismatched signatures. Flagged voters have until this Thursday at 5 to correct their signatures or their vote gets tossed.
Reporting for Florida Focus, I'm Neve Larkin.
LGBTQ plus Floridians fear that the new Supreme Court justice could roll back rights they fought years for. Tomorrow, the Supreme Court will evaluate a case that could allow private agencies to prevent same-sex couples from adopting.
I turned 18 after the last election. My entire civil rights are being decided by justices appointed by presidents I never had the chance to vote for.
Nearly 800 people have already sent letters to Florida senators asking them to support nationwide LGBTQ plus rights.
Law enforcement were out in full force at polls across the Bay Area today. That's in part because of recent threats and voter intimidation complaints. Some voters in Florida got emails from people who claimed to be from the far-right group Proud Boys. The group denied the claims. Government officials even suggested Iran may be behind the threats. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office added more deputies in St. Pete after voters complained about 2 armed men dressed as security guards. The Pasco County Sheriff's Office introduced an intensive social media campaign to remind voters to be courteous at the polls.
We want to make sure the process that our founding fathers implemented is going safely, going smoothly, and that we all respect everybody's opinion.
The Tampa Police Department compared the scale of today's response to Gasparilla, which draws over 300,000 people.
Right now, people all over America are getting ready to watch the results come in as polls close. Because of physical distancing concerns, the president of USF Democrats is planning a virtual watch party over Zoom. She says they're more important now than ever before.
So I think it creates a sense of community and a support group, no matter what the results of the election are. And then especially because I know we feel very divided, and social distancing has made people feel even more alone.
Virtual watch parties are just one of many ways people are staying safe and informed. Even Oprah hosted a virtual prayer night to ease anxiety and tension ahead of the election.
My hope is that we will be able to lean into and lean on something much greater than all of our knowing to endure the current times.
Over 71 million people tuned in to watch the election results in 2016. That's according to Nielsen. Even more are expected to tune in tonight.
Thank you for watching Florida Focus.
Have a great evening.